All right. Well, I hope y'all are having a good weekend. Let's see here. I'm just, I saw something on Twitter. You know, Twitter. And I'm over here making images, and I'm writing posts, you know, and I'm supposed to be getting ready to stream, but, take a look at this one. This is what I'm tweeting out right now. This is my live action tweeting. I just saw Battle Beagle share this news story of India banning wheat exports. And Battle Beagle will often talk about commodities concerns. And I couldn't help but notice that the different strategies that India and the United States were taking to various, you know, various commodity problems, where India was saying, well, we're running out of wheat, so let's stop exporting it. You know, we're going to need that here for our people. And we're running out of formula in the United States, so Democrats say, hey, it should be for foreigners. Right? God. Okay. For Real says, when are you going to upload on your main channel? I should be uploading on the main channel. I need to finish that video. Soon. Nero says, why did you go vegan? I didn't go vegan. I mean, you know, I know you're joking. But whatever. How's it going, Harrison and Mr. Gladius? Alright. Give me a second. Give me 1 second.
Quantum theory dictates that this pumpkin could be in two places at the same time. How is that possible? Science.
Oh, man. Science. It's my favorite. You should see Deep Rock Galactic. God, that was loud, wasn't it? I might have to change some audio settings. Alright.
Damn, my neck hurts.
Where the heck is this thing? Oh, did I click on the wrong thing? I did. Uh-oh. Now I really goofed up. I really pressed the wrong button there. That's... Is there an undo?
Quantum theory dictates that this pumpkin could be in two places at the same time.
There is an undo. Thank gosh. I went to, so, for streaming, a lot of us use this program called OBS. It's like Open Broadcasting Software. And, there is like a little minus button, because I was getting rid of some other things in the program, right? So I'm getting rid of, like, games we're not streaming anymore. Like, Tell Me Why. I was pulling those out on the list. But instead, I pulled out, like, a huge scene of all the video games and all my clips. But, luckily, there is an undo. John says, do you love science? I, for one, love science. Exactly. I think we all love science here. We're all big science people. Victorians say Indians usually destroy their own infrastructure and then blame the resulting famine on the British. Well, I don't know about that. Okay, I'm gonna... If you follow me on Twitter, I did just tweet that image that I made just now. I'm also going to post on my Telegram. If you don't know, I do have a Telegram. I'll put that in chat. Just give me a second. Let me grab my Telegram. Copy link. Bam! It's in the chat. And throw that in there. Alright, we're good to go. Nero says, why Embargo always plays that same Hyde clip whenever he reads my comments? Well, you know that's not true. Mr. Gladius says, have I watched the recent video from Mark Collette? Because the last word he said brought me back to the conversation we had recently about Might. I haven't watched his most recent video, no. Alright. See, now it seems... You should be able to hear some sounds from the game, but I don't hear anything. Well, whatever. I also got this. Check it out. There... Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a dancing Weavile. Alright, let's do a deep dive and the beer.
Bartender, round of Red Rock Blasters.
Johnny 5K on DLive says, do you see the game I linked in DLive last Wednesday? I don't think so. Link post the name. I know on some platforms if you post links, like, it'll get filtered out. But give me the name of the game, I'll take a look at it. That is a Pokemon, sir. It's a Pokemon. The little dark ice Pokemon. It's cute though. How about this? Here's a real life Pokemon. A seagull riding another seagull. I love that one. Okay, so let's see. Johnny 5K. Oh, he gave the link again. I have to copy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this. Johnny 5K posted a link to something called Get in the Car Loser. It says it's an RPG. A lesbian road trip RPG. Oh yeah, seems great. Fighting for love and justice in the face of indifference, inspired by choice-driven visual novels. Will you stand to face evil? Let's bring this up on screen. Okay. Just gotta grab a Microsoft thing here. Have you guys seen this app? Have you seen this game? Johnny 5K is saying we should play it. Oh my god. I got too many things open now. Wasn't that showing up? There we go. Right there. Oh. Get in the Car Loser. Lesbian road trip RPG. So all reviews are very positive, but the recent reviews are mixed. Developer is Love Conquers All Games. He said, get in the car, loser. I know you're not up to anything this summer. I got the Sword of Fate. And there's an ancient evil that needs to be sealed away. Wow. Okay. Introducing Sam Anon. Battle specialty support / ravage. She, her. The protagonist of the story, your new goth girlfriend. Grace Morningstar. Exploit / destruction. She, her. Solid A student / queen bee of the academy, and the current wielder of the Sword of Fate, 100% stolen. Valentine. Was that Valente? Exploit / tank. They, them. Grace's cool boyfriend who actually knows how to drive. A former teacher's assistant at the Academy of Order. Currently taking a break to spend the summer, smiling in the face of danger. Don't forget about Angela. Exploit ravage. She, her. She, big. The 32nd arm of the Divine Order, and an actual literal angel. Why does she have chains on? Writing a negative review for a free game isn't something I pictured myself doing. The art is great. The dialogue in between. The fight is quite enjoyable. There's one big problem, that's the pacing. Wait, the combat is completely one note and extremely repetitive. The fights is quite enjoyable, but the combat's completely repetitive. This is what Johnny 5K wants me to play on stream. Probably one of my favorite games. The characters and the world building and the music are all excellent. The concept of a bunch of queer people having an impromptu road trip to go kill the machine devil after one of them stole the Sword of Fate is so simple, but so great. The DLC's fun, too. Recommended. Oh, man. Amazing game with a very relatable protagonist. Relatable. What's the protagonist again? She has no idea how she got roped into this trip. It's because she is a lesbian disaster who would do anything a pretty girl told her to do, but is going to try her best anyway. Okay, that's who you identify with, huh? Relatable protagonist. Who goes around with a literal angel with a stolen Sword of Fate to fight the devil. I could see how you'd find that relatable. Oh, God. For the price of free for all, what? For the price of free for all of it except for an optional mid-level section, I cannot suggest this game with one hell of a soundtrack. Oh, I can't not. Okay. Jeez. Content warning. There are instances of queer phobia, transphobia, sexism, misogyny, and general F-boyness. In a chaotic world of angels and monsters, Sam's best friend steals a legendary sword to stop a great evil from returning with no time to explain. Praises a dark-skinned trans woman as the protagonist. Oh, it's a trans woman. Oh, I didn't even know that it would be a trans woman as the protagonist. Praises everyone's queer. Praises Sam and Grace are thick. Praises millennial and Gen Z humor where you fight to defeat F-boys. Oh my god. Ugh. Complaints. It's easy. The battle system is simple. Valentine keeps calling Sam a dude. For a lot of people with struggling with gender dysphoria, that would be problematic for them. Achievements for more difficulty. You cannot pet the cat. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You know, we might play this. It is free. It might be like a one and done. Like, I don't know how long this game is, but I don't know if we could handle more than one Wednesday of this. You know what I'm saying? We might have to do one Wednesday and be absolutely done with it. Forever. Like, yes... I don't know how many sessions I want to play a black queer trans woman on a lesbian road trip. By the way, just so we're clear, trans woman lesbian road trip. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Johnny. Johnny 5K is on DLive. If any of you ever go to DLive, he'll be in the chat there. He doesn't like coming to YouTube. And I don't blame him either. YouTube's bad. But this is where a lot of people still are, so that's why I'm here. Okay. Maybe we'll do that after we might do like one session of that after Expeditions Room. Mr. Gladius. Oh wait, Johnny 5K says someone was saying they realized something in their own life because of this game. Oh god. Someone's like, I finally embraced my own trans identity because of the main character in this game. Mr. Gladius says, why do you hurt yourself with this radioactive waste? Well, that's just the point of Wednesdays. It's to see what the other side is doing, right? See what's going on over there. Something like that.
Deep dive preparations complete. Suit up and get your butts on the drop pod.
Rock and stone to the bone.
All right. Let me take a look here. I don't have that yet. No. Should I go with the corrosive sludge pump or my standard cryo? Probably the cryo. Throw this up in the ceiling, as I always do.
Rock and stone.
That's a good place for it. Place some deep rock. So one of the things... Well, there's a few things I wanted to talk about today. First off, have you seen them people talking about men drinking through straws? Have you seen that? So, when I search it on Twitter, mostly what I see is, like, women talking about it. This idea that, like, oh my gosh, men are so insecure that they won't drink through a straw, right? Oh, wait a second. What zone am I in? Oh no, I'm in the ice place. I might actually undo this. I might abort this. So, if you don't know... Okay, let me see if I can... Okay. So, Barbarous Trick is the name of the thing. But we are in the glacial strata, where this region is cold, and there are these, like, hot spots you can go warm up in. And, things are more resistant to the cryo cannon here. And I brought the cryo cannon. So I might, go back. Not bring the cryo cannon. Well, Johnny 5K, I think we're going to end up playing that for at least one Wednesday. I can't promise you any more than one Wednesday. John Doe says, play Arthur's Knight's Tale. It's good, not overcomplicated, but wholesome. Okay, well, I'll take a look at that. Let me type that in there. What is it again? Arthur Knight's Tale. I will take a look at that later. Second hat. I have not seen a lot of talking about men drinking through straws. What an odd topic. Well, see, here's the thing.
That's it.
I've seen, like, there's an article on Esquire, and it's like, oh, men shouldn't drink through straws. And there's been some guys on Twitter who are like, men shouldn't drink through straws. Again, most of the people who I've seen talking about this were women. And they were the type of women who are, like, really down on men, and they're like, oh, well, you know, all these insecure guys, you know, they don't want to drink through straws. What idiots, what losers, that sort of suggestion, right? Velman says, what's up, YouTube? So Velman's over on Twitch. How's it going, Velman? Let me see if I can bring some of that up. Where's my window? Okay. If I click on this, let's type in... You'll be able to see this in a second. Men drink through straw. Have you guys seen this talk? Properties and... Okay. Why men shouldn't drink through straws? Why do men who drink out of a straw look less manly? Do you guys drink with straws? Why or why not? After ordering a drink, do you take the straw out? Men cannot look masculine drinking from a straw. Why don't you ever see people drinking beer with a straw? Good question. The rules. A man's guide to drinking. No self-respecting man consumes his libation with a straw, says Esquire. Guys, stop using straws. For men, there is no faultless way to use a straw. As a sex, we shouldn't be drinking anything that needs to be sucked. Jesus. Spencer says he hates the paper straws. He prefers the plastic straws. I've tried the paper straws. They seem fine. It's just that you can't drink out of them very long, that's for sure. They're paper. What else do we have here? Ancient peoples... See? The people have drinking beer through straws. It's just been a couple thousand years. I especially hate seeing a man drinking from a straw. Now, on Twitter, I searched up, like, man drink through straw. And, again, most of the posts were, like, women who were like, oh, men are so insecure and whatever that, you know, they can't even drink through a straw. What's wrong with those men? And then some of you in the chat are saying you haven't even ever heard of this. So, again, that's making me think, like a lot of guys don't even notice this sort of thing is happening. And it's mostly some of these Twitter women who are really focused on it. Now, when we look at these pictures, do we maybe feel like, well, especially some of these goofballs are kind of weird looking when they're drinking through a straw? Like yes, if you really, really pucker your lips, you do kind of look weird when you drink through a straw. Right? If you just simply... Yeah, like, he doesn't have to pucker this much to drink through a straw. You can just kind of close your mouth on it. He's got his tongue out. But, like, he just has his mouth closed on it. You don't have to, like, pucker to drink through a straw. It looks sort of weird. And the other thing that, you know, I guess if you were insecure, like, oh my gosh, do I look bad when I drink through a straw? Don't bend down to your drink. Bring the drink up to your face. Yeah, see, no, don't pucker like this. You look weird. You don't have to... Bending down, sort of craning your neck down and your shoulders forward to look at your phone or to drink. Maybe that, you know, you could say looks whatever, looks bad. The way to fix that is you don't have to stop drinking from straws. It's just bring your phone up to your face, bring your drink up to your face, stand up straight, stand up like you're proud of who you are and you're not scared of where you exist. Like this guy. I mean, though, you know, not necessarily like leaning super far forward or puckering his lips. I mean, sure. Guys, ditch the straws, says this country music station. We need, CWC straw. Yeah, see, this is how we should be drinking from straws, right here. See this? You guys know this image? Oh god. New tab. Yeah, there you go. See, this is how a real man drinks from a straw. Just like that. I don't know if that burger was always there, but it certainly may have been. It doesn't look like it. No, there's no way the burger's always been there. That burger's gotta be new. Oh my gosh. There's some spam in the chat. Sorry about that. I don't know if Ando's around. Let me see if I can jump in and... Whoops. Let me hide this user. Alright. I got rid of the spammer. Sheesh. Johnny 5K, so is Wiggly straws even worse? Well, Wiggly, do you mean like the kind that have this fold thing in it? Or do you mean like the big crazy straws, the one that go all around? Like, the crazy straws are fine, especially if you can like, use that extra length to stand up straight rather than sort of leaning over and puckering, right? Yeah, I could understand how you could look at someone like leaning over and puckering and feel like it's not super masculine. But the solution to that is you don't have to get rid of all straws. It's just to stop leaning over and stop puckering. Like, imagine this guy standing up straight, you know, not sort of leaning over to his drink. He'd look fine. It's not a big deal to drink from a straw. Not a big deal at all. All right. I wonder if... I guess these bots that come to post about porn or whatever, they must be useful, right? They must be getting traffic based off of spamming stream chats. Very interesting. Okay, am I over onto the what gun am I using now? Corrosive Sledge Pump? Yes. I'll go with that. Second Hat says Chris Chan is a horrid creation of the internet. You kind of wonder what his life would have turned out like if the internet wasn't around. You also kind of wonder what his life would be like if Sonic the Hedgehog didn't exist. Victorian says, have you seen that video of those people pulling a straw out of a sea turtle's nose? Yeah, I have. It is brutal. Second Hat says, are you trying to convince us to embargo or yourself? I don't care who drinks from a straw, or if you don't. Like, it doesn't bother me if you decide to eschew straws. I mostly drink water. Good for you. That's what you should be drinking. Let's see what we got here. So what is this? Oh, mini mules. Mini mules. I could do my own bunker deal. So here we're in the glacial strata, and you have these little vents. You can sort of, it'll pop me up just a little bit. Right? Whoop. Sort of floating. And these warm you up. Oh gosh. Little shredders.
Next point, try shredding some tree houses instead.
Spencer says he knows way too much about Chris Chan. I feel like anyone who knows his name knows too much about Chris Chan. Second Hat says all it takes is a couple of clicks per 1,000, and the bots are a net positive. I find that annoying, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of a problem. Wow, huh? So, For Real says Krogan is 6 steps away from having a Sonic OC for original character. Well, I know, have you guys ever done this? People have talked about it online. Like, you can type in your name, like, let's say your real first name. Like, you don't have to post anything in chat about this, but if you go on YouTube, or you Google, and you type in, like, your real first name, and then, like, Sonic character. Let's say your name is, you know, Dave. So you type in Dave, Sonic character, it's like, there's someone else named Dave who has created their sort of own Sonic character personality and has drawn a picture of it. And a lot of the time, those pictures are really stupendous. Hey. What's going on over here? Yeah. Oh, I've already used my power shot.
Goddamn overheating.
All right, here.
I die a little inside every time.
This is an interesting cave. Velman on Twitch says, isn't Chris Chan one of the most documented people in history? You know, he might be at this point. I mean, it seems crazy to say, right? But he's certainly up there. Like, he's... You know, there are historical figures who are probably more documented than him, have had more written about them, and have been the focus of a greater number of people for a much longer period of time, people like Julius Caesar. But when you consider how documented the average person is, Chris Chan has to be in, like, the top, like, 1/1000th of the top 1%, right? So he's, like, the top, what would you say, 10th of a percentile? Or 100th of a percentile? On some level, yes, Chris Chan is one of the most documented people in all of history. And it's insane. I mean, there are videos, there's like hundreds or thousands of videos that go through like significant portions of like the Chris Chan history. And I've watched like 2 hours of it, and I feel like I went and looked, and I was like, okay, so I looked at like part 1 and part 2, and then I look, and they like people have like part 57. There's like hundreds of hours from single like Chris Chan historians documenting this person's life.
Well done.
And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. We live in a sick world. Clearly. We live in a sick world. John Doe says, obsession with Sonic and Pokemon is mostly a US thing. I'd say it's probably pretty big in Japan, because that's where it's from.
I wanna punch the guy in
Second Hat says, I remember when I was a teenager, I made OCs in the Dragon Ball universe, or in the Naruto verse. But they were never a reflection of myself, just cool concepts I wanted to see. John Doe says, and dinosaurs. Oh, like your own personal dinosaur? Alright, here. Get out of here. So I gotta do Morkite and this, huh?
It's a mystery to me how all these minerals fit inside.
A lot of Morkite around. Oh god. This is such an awkward cave. You got spitballers. Maybe some of these loot bugs.
And I'm not so
Okay.
proud about it.
Oh my god. See if I can get this burst turret from a million miles away. And, okay.
Do this, scrap heap of you.
And then, go get that. Oh, God. This one's gonna take a long time. Johnny 5K says, Chris Chan was arrested, right? I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'd be surprised if Chris Chan had never been arrested. After all the shenanigans he's done. Him and his, like, well, I mean, harassing girls at college and all the other sorts of stuff. Like his... searching for a boyfriend-free girl. That was always so weird to me, right? He had his sign or whatever, his quest for a boyfriend-free girl, and I'm watching these documentaries on him, on Chris Chan, talking about searching for a boyfriend-free girl, and the whole time I was just thinking, does boyfriend-free girl mean something other than just single? I'm like, what is happening? Bosco, you're supposed to destroy this stuff. Okay. What if I throw one of those down?
less on edge without these things around.
Oh, man. Velman says the guy was kind of a founding myth of the whole idea of lol cows, I think. The original clash between internet and unfiltered tism. At least first to go viral. Oh, Vellum says Chris got arrested for doing his mom. Yeah, I think... And how old is his mom now? Isn't she like an elderly person who he's been actually abusing, essentially? I mean, God, this conversation all of a sudden is a lot less fun than funny and more like really awful. Look at all this crap.
Support fire, please.
Oops. That was... Yeah, so I remember seeing something about that online. Something about him abusing his elderly mother sexually. That's all of a sudden that's a lot less funny and interesting about like some goofball on the internet, and it's a lot more like straight disturbing. Like Life After Death says 75. His mother is 75. God. But by the way, guys, degeneracy isn't real. I know because some transsexual on YouTube made a video about that, telling me about how degeneracy isn't real. Did you know that? Did you know degeneracy isn't real?
Fire.
You should be able to do whatever you want to whoever you want, especially if they're your elderly mother. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's a regular thing. Because there is, if you look in the upper left, it does say rival presence. So there is going to be some huge robot somewhere that has a very good chance to just destroy me. Nero says Barb is 80. Oh. Well, however old. Okay. Why is it so blue up here? Oh, look, guys. It's this thing that I can hack to get rid of all the turrets that I already got rid of.
Help me mine this.
Oh, there's some more kite on the back here that I missed. Victorian says, that's so disgusting. Who is this and why do people care about him? So, Chris Chan, it's sort of an internet thing, right? So, like, in the early internet, you know, whatever existed on the internet was what people created, right? It's not like we had a lot of mega corporations building things. It's like you got to play like a Shockwave Flash game. So Flash was created by Shockwave before it was like purchased by Adobe or whatever. So you'd go play Shockwave Flash games because some nerd was like, hey, I'm going to make a game, right? And then they made the game and then you got to play it, right? And it's not like, you know, Nickelodeon had come on and built like some sort of SpongeBob game or whatever. It's just like the internet was whatever people put on it. Without a lot of financial incentives, it was just people doing whatever they wanted to do. And you had some people sort of put themselves out there in very interesting ways. And Chris Chan is, you know, you have this guy diagnosed with autism, and he starts putting himself out there and interacting with people, and, you know, let's say someone teases them, and then they get a huge reaction, you know, and they start screaming or yelling or crying or this or that, and then you have this sort of cycle of, like, this phenomena where the internet is a place where some people go to promote themselves, like mentally unstable people, and then like some of the audience, you know, pokes and prods and sees if they can get some giant reaction, and then it just sort of escalates, right? The bigger the reaction, the more people that come by to observe the festivities. And that's what, was it Vellum? He was talking about the lol cow, this sort of, so LOL being laugh out loud, lol, and cow being someone who can be milked for lols over and over and over. Imagine if there was a streamer like me, and like all you had to do was come in there and say a certain word. If you went in and called the streamer a baby face, and they immediately would just throw this huge temper tantrum, right? And freak out and cry and whine and all sorts of things. Like that would become like a daily occurrence. Who's that one guy who does something like that, right? Wings of Liberty or whatever?
Turret controller
Oh my god, there's more spammers. Give me a second. There was a streamer like me, and jeez. I can't do my spam thing from my other window. Gotta get into YouTube. Hide user. Okay. Nero says, was the main character of the Tell Me Why an homage to Chris Chan? I don't know. Can we stop talking about Chris Chan? Yeah, I suppose. Is there something we could do to help white mothers? Generically? Other than just make the world a better place? Hard to say. Oh yeah, Wings of Redemption. I never watched him, because I'm really not into the whole lol cow thing, right? Like, in terms of the drama, I just don't care. But, you know, I see these clips of, like, on Twitter, you know, people have, like, a streamer, and it's like, a lot of times it's like a shirtless guy or something just yelling at the camera, and it's just like, I could see why some people would tune in to, like, see what sort of nonsense is happening, oops, with someone like that, you know. Uh-oh. Patrol bot. But, yeah, Wings of Redemption. I think I've seen clips of him shirtless, screaming at the camera, or talking about how hard his life is when, I don't know, people made maybe a rude joke in the comments. But I mean, I think if you're overweight and you're getting in front of the streaming camera, I think you're sort of inviting a certain amount of rude comment to just come up, right? I mean, why not put a shirt on? Oh, here's the cold. We're in the glacial strata. Here's the cold. Sark says Wings and DSP are the most famous lol cows around. Okay. Yeah, like, I'm not into watching that sort of stuff, but I know a lot of people are. It's sort of like, I mean, I guess it's sort of like watching a, what do they say? It's like watching a train accident. Just seems to get worse and worse. I don't know where this last mini mule is. Probably over here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can warm up here. Nero says, what's your stance? What is your guys' stance on white single moms with their non-white children? I mostly don't do anything with that. Was it back in the first room? Or maybe it's down here and I just missed it. Probably down here. Johnny 5K says, does he make good money? Chris Chan? Or, like, one of these, like, redemption guy and stuff? I don't know. I think some of them make decent money streaming. Like, I think they get a lot of people showing up. And I think, you know, for some of those types of people, I think they sort of feed into that paradigm. Like, they'll pretend to some degree that they don't like it when they might like the attention, but also, they might react. Because it's about the reaction, right? They might react especially big to an insult provided in a donation. Like, chat money kind of deal. I think some of these people sort of know that they're lol cows or whatever, and they are like, you know, they're into it. They're into the deal. They're in on it. They're benefiting from it. They're going with it. It's in their interest.
Damn robots! This is our turf!
Johnny 5K says, could it just be an act? You know, I think there are some people where it could be just an act. And I think there are some people where it's like half of an act, but then purposely exaggerated, you know? Like, it may not have started as an act, but then, you know, it inflated into an act.
Down the hatch!
Okay. I'm not sure where this other mini-mule is, honestly.
Ready to kill some more crepes.
But yeah, I'm fairly confident that some lolcows are into it, right? You know, who's probably pretty darn into it? Like, I'm not saying he's totally, like, normal and would just be straightening his tie and going to his, you know, accounting job if he couldn't do it. But like Nikocado Avocado, you've seen him maybe. He's he eats on camera. He's gained a lot of weight. And like part of his sort of shtick is the whole sort of like him ranting and fighting and having gay makeouts on camera, right? That sort of thing. When I saw he recently had a big thing where there's another YouTuber, Amber Lynn Reed. She's a large girl, does a lot of eating on camera or whatever, and Nikocado had like this sort of video thing where he referenced a lot of the things that she talks about and kind of teased her. And I think it was done like he's riding around Walmart in a mobility scooter. There it is. To that song Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy or whatever. And it's very funny. Like, he's not a dumb guy. And maybe he's like not as like, I don't know. He might not be totally normal. Again, he might not be in a different world. He might not exactly be working his boring accounting job in his white shirt and tie. But like, I think his sort of like the thing that he's developed consciously, right? He's chosen to do with his life what he wants to do. Oh, okay. Let's get this going. Oh, God. Velman says, Nikocado willingly dug his own grave. Can't blame any mental disability there. I mean, he might have always been kind of a goofball. Like, no matter what happened. Like, even if there was no internet. I think he'd be kind of a goof. But he wouldn't be obese with no internet. Like, he chose obesity and this sort of crazy eating thing as his career for, you know, fame and money or whatever.
The mules are heading back.
I don't know what that is. John Doe. John Doe is saying Nikocado underscore kitten underscore sofa.png. I assume that's referring to some sort of horrific image I've never seen. Nero says, do you use the perk to increase the drill damage? Yeah. Barb drills. Magnetic refrigeration. Supercharged motor. Bloody cold drills. This is what you want. This is what I've always used. Ever since I started playing, but as far as I know, most of the other... Most good drillers I've seen are using the same thing. I mean, this is just how you run it. I'll take another thing here. Now, do I want to try and go for a bunker? I'm gonna have to do something here. I could try a bunker. Might be sort of sketchy doing it here. But, and here's the thing, like, if you run outside of the range of the area, it starts to, like, it starts to go down really quickly, right? You start to lose progress. Let's see what I can do. And I will have to run out of range after I start this. Uh-oh. So I'm gonna try this. I don't know how this works, honestly. I've hardly ever used bunkers. But I'm really curious to see if they'll be able to get through this hole. It's not a hole. It's filled, right? But I'm gonna find out if they can get through this.
Uplink ready. Triangulation initiated. Do not leave the triangulation
All
zone,
right.
or we will lose the connection. We only got one shot at this.
I don't know how useful Bosco's gonna be here. Bosco, you're going through the ice. You madman.
Triangulation at 50%.
How's it going, Bosco?
Come on, guys. Rock and stone.
Well, looks like they're coming through the door. Like they're supposed to. I'm liking that. Look at that. Oh, here comes one of those things. Oh, what the heck? The shredders are coming through the walls. Okay, get rid of this real quick. This seems good. This seems like it's working. So it's good to know that that doesn't create a hole that bugs start crawling through. Although, there are some goofy things happening.
Remote control reestablished. Stand by, sending in fresh fuel cells for the drop pod.
Victorian says, I ride in the mobility scooter because I have crippling depression. Who said that? Wasn't that like an iDubbbz thing or something? I feel like that's a joke from one of those guys. Really?
Fuel cells have arrived. Get them connected to the drop pod.
Interesting. Now, do I try for another bunker? I should throw these down. Oh god, the ice.
getting supplies.
So what else I want to talk about today? Oh yeah, respect. Respect and what's it called? Space. Let's get into that once I get through with this bunker thing. I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to build this bunker right or not. I might be screwed here.
Bosco.
Oops.
What is that?
No, Bosco, you don't.
Follow me.
All right. This is gonna be a weird bunker. I'm probably building it wrong. Okay. Just go straight here, I'm thinking. Yeah. Oh my gosh. More spammers. Hide user, right? That's all I can do. Well, I can report, actually. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Interesting. So when I can report on YouTube, so report, I have unwanted commercial or spam, porn, child abuse, hate speech, promotes terrorism, harassing and bullying, suicide or self-injury. I also can report for misinformation. Interesting. Man. So, for you guys on DLive and Twitch, there's bots spamming YouTube chats for, you know, adult stuff. Now, here's my concern. I might not... So, like, I'm going to start building this in a second. And I don't know if it's gonna handle me running that far away to get into the bunker. I wish Bosco could build it. Yeah, you can't build it, can you? No. Who would you rather have as your roommate? iDubbbz or Sam Hyde? Any of you guys ever watch The Odd Couple? I watched The Odd Couple a lot years ago. I don't know about a lot, but I definitely watched some of The Odd Couple. That's a little bit like The Odd Couple, don't you think? It's Felix and Oscar. I mean, Sam is an Oscar. Okay, where's my entrance? It's right there. Okay, there's my entrance. I'm gonna try and use this thing. Oh, no, I can't do it now, because I walk slow during the storm. Okay, so once the storm subsides, I'm gonna try and run down there. But I need this storm to go away, because I won't make it in time during the storm. Oh my god, and I got exploders on me. Uh-oh. See, I'm out of the thing now. Oh, man. Okay, everybody, out of the way. He's yelling at me. I don't know if you can see, it's going down quick there. Okay. I probably should have shot as I was coming in here. At the floor. Okay. I think it'll work now. Oh, damn it, Bosco. You know, I've got a big tunnel of goop. That one actually helped, Bosco. Good job. Johnny5K says, YouTube mods get to say what's misinformation. Well, exactly. I mean, it's up to them. They're the keepers of the truth. If they say it's misinformation, it's misinformation. If they say it's not misinformation, then it's not. If you want to know anything, just ask YouTube.
Fuel cells at 75%. You're almost there.
Okay, so Sam Hyde or iDubbbz is a roommate. You know, I think we all know that Sam Hyde would be more fun and also a much bigger mess. Like, Sam Hyde would take you out and you know, like your roommates, he'd bring things in and offer to take you out with the guys, and it'd be a lot of fun, but it'd also be a disaster zone, right? It would be filthy.
Fuel cells fully charged. Drop pod engine powering up. Hold your ground. We're almost ready to pull you and the goods out.
And I'm not like a Felix, right? I'm not a fastidious cleaner. So if me and Sam were living together,
Spooling up.
it would probably be too messy. Like, I don't live like Sam, but I'm not a Felix either. My tunnel's all lumpy from exploders.
Onboard mainframe booting.
Victorian says he thinks he'd rather live with Sam Hyde.
Calculating orbital trajectory.
Mr. Gladius says
Powering radiation.
they can claim to know the truth only because they can point the band gun at us. Ah, so truth flows from the barrel of a gun is what you're saying. Not just
Econ
government.
operational.
Ah, Second Hat says, have you talked about the new agency in America that is meant to combat disinformation? I haven't really talked about it. Because while the Misinformation Governance Board, or whatever it's called, like, yeah, it's a new structure, but it's not new features. Like, they've been putting things into place for a while now that have been about, like, hey, we get to say if something's true or something's not, and if we say it's not, it gives us special powers, right? They've been doing this thing for a while. It's not entirely new. Well, the board is new. The general actions, the attitudes, I mean, these have been building up for a long time. I mean, it's obviously bad. Like, and we're obviously all gonna suffer because of it. Right? Because any one of us can, and for some of us, we likely will, be deemed as peddling misinformation, and you know, there's some amount of rights that could be taken away from us, punishments that could be levied, actions taken, right? And, you know, we could say things like, well, you know, the founding fathers wouldn't like what's happening, and it's not within the values of what the country was about when it was founded, and, like, yeah, obviously. Oh. Now, you may have watched that and thought, why did he just stand there? While he lost the mission. I honestly looked at the countdown and thought it was the number of seconds until I could get in, not the amount of time I had left before I had to get in. So that's why I lost just now. Because I thought I couldn't get in yet. I thought the timer was counting down until I could get in. That was really dumb. Gosh.
Team me up with a bunch of greenbeards like that. Crap's sake. Rock and stone in the heart.
This Bosco doesn't rock and stone.
Rock and
So if you guys
stone,
haven't seen
brother.
before, when you lose missions in the game now, they added this cool thing. This is me wanting to demonstrate that. That's why I lost.
Dance monkeys.
So you wake up in the infirmary with one of these hospital gowns on. With the open back. I mean, there's no reason I had to lose that one. That was ridiculous. I can't believe I just did that. Well. Mr. Gladius says, do they really believe all the garbage they say? I mean, some of the people on the lower levels definitely do, right? When these organizations, like government organizations, media organizations, when they're hiring at the low level, they will hire true believers, right? Now, some of your upper management and people who are running it, do they always believe what they're pushing? Maybe not, but they don't need to. They need some amount of loyalty and dedication from the boots on the ground sort of thing. And this goes, like, you can look at, what's that one guy? not a huge fan of him, but Noam Chomsky, he's got that book on media and about, you know, you can have a bunch of like reporters who they say, no, what we're saying, it's not because we're controlled to say it. You know, we're saying these things because these things are correct, and we're doing these things because they're right, and this and that. And it's like, yes, but you got hired because of what you believed is correct and right, right? The filter exists prior to the reporter, right? You don't have to pressure reporters and government, like, boots on the ground to act a certain way, because you only hired people who would act that way. How's it going, Anton? Okay. So, what did I want to talk about today? Oh yeah, respect. Respect and space. That's one of the things that I feel like it's somewhat obvious. It's somewhat, you know, like we can all know it, but like we don't always think about it. And thinking about it explicitly might be helpful at times. And that is, you know, what is respect? What does it mean to be respectful? What is respect? What is respect as far as humans go? What's respect to animals? You know, is it different? John Doe says, look up that game. Do it. What game? What game am I supposed to be looking up? I don't see any game. So, you know, one of the things you look at when you look at online, go look at videos of dogs and babies interacting, right? So, like, dog meets baby for the first time, those sorts of videos. When you'll see all sorts of things being said, they'll say, oh, well, this is a knight. John Doe says, King Arthur's Knight's Tale. You want me to do that right now? I mean, I wrote it down.
This area is off limits to regular miners.
Respect, when you watch these videos of dogs and babies interacting, people will say all sorts of things about the dogs, like, oh, the dog's very nice, the dog's very kind, the dog's very gentle, but when they use the term respect, part of what they talk about is space, right? Like when you see a dog see a baby, and the dog sort of sits at a distance and watches the baby crawl and coo to the mom, and the dog doesn't just jump all over the baby and get in the baby's face. They say, oh, look at how respectful the dog is. Because the dog is providing space. There's like space around it that we could consider the baby's space, and the dog is respecting that space. So the dog is maintaining that space. And that's what respect is maintaining space. When you see two guys who absolutely hate each other, like they hate each other's guts, the first thing they do is go to claim the other person's space and to push themselves into the other person's space. You see men bumping their chests together, and they'll go actually nose to nose to take away all of the space you would normally have. If you really want to make someone feel disrespected, then just put your finger in their face, right? Point at them in their face with your finger and get as close as you can. Even touch their nose, and they'll be really angry. Because one of the foundational elements to respect is whether you maintain or violate space, right? So we can think about points in the American history where there may have been a black Main Street and a white Main Street. Think of like the 1950s, 1940s. And there were people who may have wanted to be separate, to have their own space, and people who wanted that space to be violated, to break down an old social norm, and for some people to lose their space. And we can see that even now, like, you'll hear a news story about, like, some white guys who wanted to buy, like, some properties in, like, a nearly abandoned town in North Dakota, right? They're buying up properties, and I'm not saying these guys are good or bad or whatever. I'm just saying, like, they will express interest in creating, like, a space for white people in purchasing land, you know, legally purchasing land, and the public is conditioned to not like these guys. They don't respect these guys, and the public will talk about things like violating their property rights, talk about putting them in jail, hurting these people. They don't have respect for them, and they want them to have no space, right? They want the space to be violated. If they are that kind of person, you know, then they shouldn't be able to claim space, and when they do, that space, those claims need to be violated, right? We need to go after them. Even if they want to, like, if you think of Acid True Folk Assembly, right? Acid True Folk Assembly is a Acid True, this sort of pagan northern European religious order. It's a folkish order. This idea that, like, hey, there's these people that we are descended from, and we follow their religion, and we follow their religion partly because we are their descendants, right? So the Acid True Folk Assembly is interested in sort of this folkish paganism thing. So they get this church in Murdoch, Minnesota, I believe. I'll bring this up on screen. Acid True Folk Assembly, Minnesota. Okay. So you have the New York Times saying that fear spreads in Minnesota town. Leaders claim whites only Acid True Church in Minnesota something is not a hate group, but it's extremist trackers say otherwise. Fight. So, like, there's this church that isn't being used anymore. Like, no one's using it. It's space that no one is using as their space. It's space that no one is claiming. So these people who want to have their sort of meeting and religious thing are going to take this space, and then you have people flooding in to Murdoch, Minnesota, people who might not live or even near Murdoch, who show up to protest and say, like, oh, well, they don't respect these people and they want to have their space violated, right? One of the foundations of respect is whether you allow people to claim space and respect the claims they've made, or whether you push to violate those claims. Right? Like, some of these people in the crowd might not be from Murdoch, Minnesota. They're there because they don't respect the Acid True Folk Assembly. What's that one video? Let me see if I can find that video. Give me a second. It might be hard to find. Oh. White guy walking. Street. Sucker punch. Might not be able to find it. No, well, I mean, this might work. I can't find that video that I really want, though. Largely because it's been taken off of things like YouTube. But, you know, when you look at crimes, you know, there's a big deal when the criminal is from out of town. You know, people are feel like they're being violated more by having someone like, he's got no claim to this space. He's not even from this neighborhood, right? That sort of thing. We might be able to look at some of these, right? Oops.
Why doesn't every
So, I mean, like, on some level, when you see this, it's like, I'm not sure what kind of neighborhood this is. Like, for example, this guy, who is this? Who is that again? Kendrick Moore? Oh, wait, can you see that? Oh. Oh, am I not sharing the right thing? I put a paint instead of edge. Oh, shoot. That's fine, that's fine. Give me a second. That hasn't been up long, has it? That's just came up recently. Okay. All right. So you have, like, this... I'm not sure if this is, like, a black neighborhood. Right? But it may be. And you end up seeing these sorts of things happen, even if this isn't the best example. I think this may be an example of it. I don't actually know where this is. But you have, like, this 12-year-old white boy sort of dancing. You have these, I don't know, maybe black street performers or something. It looks like they're bobbing. Maybe they're not actually making music. Maybe they're all just listening to music. And you have this guy come up and just smack him. I don't know this particular situation, but I think it may be one of those situations where it's like, this is our neighborhood. Why are you dancing here? Why are you, white boy, here? What makes you think you can come here and just sort of dance around and be happy and this and that? Like, this is our space. You know, on some level, right, there's a space conflict, a space-based conflict. It's about respect, right? And this guy feels like, for whites to send a child to come dance here shows a lack of respect for who they are and what they can do to us, kind of thing. Because it's this guy. It's this guy, Kendrick Moore. He's the guy who punched the kid. But I wanted to find that one video I felt was better. So there's a video of a guy, he's like walking down the street. Oh, I spelled walking wrong. Forgot the K. Well, it's a typo, not a spelling error. But he's like walking down the sidewalk with a messenger bag, and he tries to, there's like a group of black men standing on the sidewalk. They're covering the sidewalk, and he tries to walk through their group, and he just gets sucker punched, right? There's some amount of space concerns, right? Like, we're claiming this space. You can't just walk right through here, white boy kind of deal. I wish I could find that. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Well, oh yeah, knockout game. You know, there's... You know, do you remember during the Minneapolis riots? I had posted a clip, so I made a video. Let me type this in. Let's... Uh-oh. Quickly. Let me take a look at my... Okay, here we go. Oh! I have to sign in to confirm my age. My video is age restricted. Huh. Interesting. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that my video was age restricted. I mean, I'm not surprised. I guess that's part of the reason why it doesn't have that many views, is it's age restricted. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna have to bring up some different window here. My video age restricted based off of community guidelines. All right, we're gonna bring up this. So in this video, I documented some of what was happening with the Minneapolis riots, which is, again, now an age-restricted video. And I talked about the stuff that was happening. I want to find one of the young rioters that they had filmed.
Two, we gonna y'all up. Them all up. Matter of fact, we got a 2-for-1 rule. One of ours, 2 of yours. Innocent mother dying, cause y'all don't want none. There's more of us than you. What's up? Exactly. We coming for y'all. This is only the beginning, mother. What's up? Huh? Exactly. You speechless. Cause next time this is your mother house out there in Oakville. You don't live here, but we coming to your house right now. Don't out my face. Here you go, bro.
You know, one of the things that you saw from the rioters, especially the ones who were, they felt the most righteous in trying to strike out at the white community that they viewed as their oppressors, right? They're like, we're gonna come to the suburbs. We're gonna come up to where you live. We're gonna go to Oakville, I think is what he said. Like, we're gonna come violate your space. These were the people who felt like the most enthusiastic about trying to fight against who they thought of as their oppressors, right? We have to fight against the white people. So the claim was like, we're gonna come into your space and you better be afraid of that. We're gonna come after you. Johnny 5K says, sometimes I feel like that age-restricted notification is just to get your ID. Yeah, on some level, you, like, maybe, like, it's a worry that people have, maybe a somewhat reasonable one, that, like, YouTube's trying to collect information on me before they let me watch this, you know? Like, I'm gonna be marked down as a person who, like, watches this sort of thing. Is that going to put me on some sort of list, some sort of algorithm? You know, am I going to get dinged for this? Well, Ando, he says, you know, Ando's questioning whether the guy is factually accurate. The guy said something like, there's more of us than you. It may be where he lives that there is more of him than us. It may also be that if they build a crowd big enough and they come into your little neighborhood, that they will outnumber you when they get there, right? I mean, he was not talking about marching across the whole country. He was talking about going to Oakville and harming whites in their suburban neighborhoods. So, is he wrong that there's more of us than you? Or more of him than us? Yeah, I was quoting him. He said there's more of us than you. Is what he directly said. He might not be fully wrong about that. In what he's implying will happen to people. But anyway, he feels, obviously, he's not feeling respectful towards this group that he considers his oppressors, right? He's not being respectful towards whites. He's saying, we should be able to come to where you are and do things to you, right? It's a threat on your space. It's not just a threat on the body. It's saying, he's talking about the places that you would be. Space is very integral to respect. Let me, what is it? I want to find these videos of, dogs, gosh. I'm just looking at, like, okay, I typed in dogs interacting. You can watch videos of dogs and like one dog will come up near another dog and the other dog will sort of shove his face towards him as a way to sort of claim the space, like, hey, don't get up on me so close, right? And the other dog will respect it, right? It's all about like who's
Friends would walk up to me.
trying to claim the space, who's potentially violating someone else's space, right? So here you have this very excited dog wants to play, this maybe less excited dog. And, well, there may be times where this dog invades this dog's space so much that this dog will bite back, say like, give me some space, give me some things. Oh, how about that mom dog? Yeah, we've seen this. This is a viral one.
Jetzt
So,
werden wir gleich sehen, wie
one, the puppies are very excited. They're acting, oh my gosh. Is that some more, spam? Okay, give me a second. The spam today is unreal. Alright. Go ahead and report that if you can. Oh, Ando's here. Oh, good job, Ando. Alright. So, not only the excited, and they may be behaving sort of wildly, and the mom might want to calm them down, but also they're not giving the mom space, right? They're all over the mom, and the mom is not happy with it. And now the puppies are willing to respect her space, right? She put her foot down. And we're gonna see, like, so she wants to not be touched, she wants space, she wants calm, and we're gonna see at times there might be like a puppy who tries to play with her tail or something, or touch her. Oh, watch this one.
einer kommt jetzt wieder. Schlechte Idee.
Puppy was gonna go up and try and suckle and touch her, and she's saying no, no.
Kommt jetzt wieder.
Space time. Space?
Schlechte Idee.
But, yeah. She put her paw down, says Christine. Yeah, exactly. But she was claiming space. Space is just fundamental to respect. Let's see. Let's type in men chest bump. I want to see two guys. What the heck? Fight. Let's take a look at this. Two guys fight on the road. Oh, are they just gonna go straight in for the fist fight, huh? Well, let's take a look at this before that. Yeah, you can see this guy, he's pulling off his shirt or his sweater, hoodie, which is, like, we all recognize that as sort of an aggressive thing, right? Because it's like a prepare for fight sort of thing, but he's also, look at that step forward. That step forward, like, that space that you normally expect to be respected. That space you would normally expect to be maintained between people. I'm gonna violate it. I'm gonna come in. You don't have space. Step in. He steps in. He steps in. This guy's stepping back. He's stepping in. Stepping in. Stepping in. Pushing. Right? it's space is foundational to respect. Not only just like when two people are interacting, but when... Oh, he saw the camera. I think he saw the camera and wanted to stop fighting. Which is fine, you know. If cameras helps people stop beating each other to death in the street, I suppose that... Oh, never mind. Maybe he doesn't care about the camera. Okay, never mind. Whoops. But this is foundationally similar to the Murdoch, Minnesota thing. Okay, let's type that in. Oh, Murdoch, Minnesota. What's it again? Austru Folk Assembly. Okay, so this guy in the black tank top getting up, pushing in, is not really that different from the Asatru Folk Assembly in Murdoch, Minnesota, taking control of this church which wasn't being used. They purchased it, and they're going to have their own, like, you know, they're going to do, like, Asatru things, which is like... They're going to have feasts with the winter solstice or something. And you have, like, people doing this change.org, stop the Asatru Folk Assembly from creating their own space. Like, this is functionally similar, right? When you push into this guy's space to try and start a fist fight, or you're pushing into these people's space to try and deny white people their own sort of church, right? That's the same thing. Let's see what Daily Caller says about it. Small town residents oppose pagan whites-only Nordic Heritage Church. And from what I understand, the town... Like, some of the residents of the town had different opinions on it, but in large part, most of the resistance wasn't from the town and the residents. It was from, like, the wider American public, right? So, Daily Caller is suggesting that residents of the town pack the town hall to express their opposition, that plans to move into an abandoned church. It's an abandoned Lutheran church. Pre-Christian practices of Northern Europe, Nordic imagery. Who's Favel? Wait a minute, what is this? AFL spoke at this thing. They want healthy white families. Blah, blah, blah. The introduction of the AFA is especially unwelcomed by many residents, given the growth of Hispanic and Somali populations in the region, who work at dairy farms and meat packaging plants. Or meat packing. So this is your Daily Caller. Like, they're supposed to be conservative. And, yeah. XSly on Twitch says, hey, how's it going? How you doing? He says, howdy. Mr. Gladius says, can we agree that strength is needed to claim or defend your space? Right? Those two guys in the video were big, right? Well, at the end of the day, it's like, when someone wants to violate your space, like, we can say that, like, hey, like, this guy getting into this guy's space and trying to start a fight, like, we can say he's the bad guy. Or a bad guy. And if he... But, like, let's say if he's bigger and stronger and more aggressive, and he takes the space, like, yes, on some level, like, yeah, he won, right? Like, that's what you're getting at. Like, imagine if there was 2 people left on Earth, and one person wanted to have their space, another person wanted to have their space. Well, if one guy kills him and takes the other guy's space, so then you're right. They, like, we could say he's bad, but he still won, right? So obviously, you at least, if you want to claim space and want to have respect, you at least need to be strong enough, if you can be, to make sure that others maintain that. Or if they do try and fight you, that you don't lose. You don't necessarily have to win every fight, but you have to not lose. And there is a difference between winning fights and not losing fights. Victorian says, I would have assumed he was going into his car to get a gun. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Let me see here. So he's squaring up. I assumed, yeah, it seems to me like, oh, he sees the camera and he's like thinking better of this. Victorian's thinking he might be going to get a gun. That is a worry. Like, if you're in a fight with someone and they go like into a backpack or their car, I mean, they could go get a weapon. If they come back out, I'd be much like, if they came back out, I'd be very inclined to not fight them. Who knows what they did while they were in there. I don't even know what they're really fighting over. Is this the tow truck driver? It could be a fight over a repo. You do see that, where like the tow truck driver will go to repossess a car and then the person will try and fight the tow truck driver. Have you seen that? Pretty scary. Oh, I don't have it on screen. Jeez. Sorry about that. Damn it. So, yeah, so I wish I had it on screen. So if I go here, it looks like he's looking at the guy, but then maybe he just saw the camera right behind the guy. Like here. Sees the camera and is like, alright, never mind. Because he definitely does look at the camera. There. He's definitely looking at the camera. But yeah, if someone's in a fight and they go into their backpack or into a car, I'd be worried. Because they might be trying to grab something to fight you with. And then he comes out with the sucker punch. Boom. And there, it doesn't look like he has anything in his hands, although it kind of does. I don't know what's with that. Could have brass knuckles on. I mean, brass knuckles can kill you, dude. Those will really mess you up. Why they're illegal in a lot of places, brass knuckles. Although it doesn't look like there's anything in his hands. But his front wheels are off the ground, so I'm thinking like this could be he could have been illegally parked and the business called a tow truck driver to have him hauled away. Or this could be a repo. And either way, he's trying to fight off because he wants to get into the tow truck. Is that the keys? You got the keys to the tow truck? Oh, God. People. These people. Johnny 5K says, many times there is 10 people against one because other individuals and others are not. Others are individualists and others are not. Oh yeah, I mean like if you were to take some sort of like hyper individualist standpoint where like you end up fighting against people who are willing to band together against you, like you get rocked, right? Mr. Gladius says, as sad as it is what we are seeing in this street fight, but on a global scale. Yeah. Mr. Gladius says, we have been sitting and eating chips while watching Netflix for too long. Oh, it would be definitely good to see a lot of us get a little bit healthier. Patricia says... Oh, I'm not going to read that. Spencer says he's had someone try to fight him with a knife, but he grabbed the knife. That's a risky maneuver. I mean, just fighting anyone with a knife is very dangerous. I mean, guys probably know the 21-foot rule, right? 21-foot rule. I'm not... So you have different videos. The truth about the 21-foot rule. 21-foot rule and proportional threat. Reality check. I'm not sure if the 21-foot rule is, like, really perfect. Like, is that the correct number? But the basic idea is that, like, at 21 feet or less, a knife is just as lethal, if not more lethal, than a gun, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if he has a gun, or if he has a knife and you have a gun, and he's only 20 feet away, and he's just gonna straight up, like, sprint at you, bum rush you, like, you're in big trouble. What you would want is for you to be 40 feet away, or 50 feet away, or 100 feet away, you know, because you'd have a significant advantage. But the more and the closer they are to being right on top of you, the more lethal their knife becomes, and the less useful your gun becomes. Here's a WSLS. I don't know.
There's an old expression that goes, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. But tonight in a special report, I'll show you how that rule may not mean what you think. If I told you that a man with a knife could run up and stab you before you could pull a gun and protect yourself, what do you think the safe distance would be? 5 feet? 10 feet? What if I told you 21 feet?
Yeah. So here they're going to have these people positioned 21 feet apart. Now, obviously, if he's already got his knife in his hand, if he's got his hand on the holster, on the weapon, and here's the thing, like, in this scenario, you have someone who's probably decently trained at unholstering their weapon, but also, what did we... Where is it? Here. So we have that click, and he starts to go to the side. That being said, if you hit him, like, in the stomach, in the gut, his adrenaline's going to be so high. If you didn't hit his spine and, like, disable him, he'll still be running forward, right? So here we might say, oh, well, the guy with the gun won. But a lot of these closer distance gun versus knife fights can lead into both of them getting fatally wounded, right? Let's say this guy shoots him and he hits him sort of over here. Which there's not, I mean, in the kidney potentially. But, like, this person might not be disabled, and then they could potentially put lethal cuts onto this guy, right? And now they're both in trouble. So just because you get the first shot off doesn't mean you won. You could still lose. They might not win, but you lose. You see? Like, there are definitely lose-lose scenarios. FN says, epic mealtime boxes. Sam Hyde whipped him into a Zion warrior for tonight. We'll see. For Real says, knife becomes more deadlier the closer you get. No crap. Well, yeah. I mean, it's no crap, but I mean, it's still something like... Unless you actively think this out, like, you might understand it on an intuitive level, but you have to play it out, like, in terms of, like... Let's do this. Paint. Where's my paint? Ready for this? Deadly distance. And then we'll do... Ready for this? Knife. So distance will go like this. And then we'll do gun. Right? And then we'll do something more like this. Right? Because guns are pretty darn hard to use when you're, like, actually grappling someone. Like, they're great when you're, like, can stand at range and point. Because you can actually look down the sights. You don't actually... The sights are useless when you're grappling someone. They're less useful. I mean, you don't need them at all, but also, like... People grab onto the slide of a handgun, and then it can only cycle... Well, it can't cycle, right? You only get one shot. And one-shot pistols kind of suck. Compared to automatic pistols, but all automatic pistols can be made into one-shot pistols once you're in brawling range. So, like, while it's obvious that a knife is more deadly close, the reality is a lot of people think this distance is, like, close up. And this distance is actually, like, decently far away. Like, if you two are in the same room... Like, if you're not out in a park with decent distance with people, if you're in a room, an enclosed space, there's a decent chance that a knife is just simply more deadly than a gun. Right? So while people might instinctively understand this curve, the idea of these two curves crossing at such a great distance, and you live most of your life... Like, if we look at the way you interact with other people, even potentially fighting with other people, and, like, this is where most of the people you are with are at, like, we get to the conclusion that a knife in 99% of your interactions is more deadly than a gun. Because most of the time you're not, like, actually arguing with someone 50 feet away. A lot of the times when you're worried about, like, a truly deadly fight breaking up, like, you're already chest to chest. There are times when you're worried about a deadly fight breaking out, and already the guy is... Let's see, when he's first doing it. We're already here. Like, almost this entire interaction between these two guys. He's up in his face. Like... Doesn't matter if you have a gun on you if he's got a knife. He's a significantly more danger to you than you are to him. Eric K says, that's one of the advantages of revolvers. They can be used in a grappling situation without malfunctioning. Yeah, I mean, if someone grabs onto the cylinder, they could still potentially stop it from revolving, right? But, if they let go, it should start working again, right? You just pull the trigger. Significantly more danger to you. God, 1 second. Just wanted to make sure we had dealt with that bot, and we did. Thank you, Ando. Like, if they let go of your revolver cylinder, it'll start revolving again, just simply by pulling on the trigger. While with a, if they hold their hand on the slide, once you get the gun back, you can't simply pull the trigger and shoot again. You have to charge it, right? You have to pull back the slide, eject the cartridge, and to reload a new one, right? But yeah, that is, you know, it is a potential advantage of a revolver in a grappling situation. As long as they don't get it from you. As long as they don't successfully wrestle it out of your hand. And then it's their advantage instead of yours. God, these bots are ruthless today. Ruthless bots. I've never seen multiple rounds of bots come in like this. Okay. Let's see if I can blitz a mission here. I'm gonna do... Can I do this one? Yeah. Let's go Mactera Plague. So it's gonna be a Mactera Plague mining. I'm not getting the
Drop
gunk
pod is cleared.
seeds.
Warm up. Time to get to work.
I'm going to switch over to my cryo, right? Yeah. Cryo. Here we go.
If you're rockin' stone, you're never alone.
There you go. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I feel like the sound got turned down on this somehow. Let me take a look at my thing. Did I turn this down? No, that's up. Life After Death says, how many missing persons are in the U.S.? I have no idea. Number of missing persons in the USA.
Get ready!
According to the National Missing and Unidentified Persons Database, there is more than 600,000 persons of all ages that go missing every year. But what is that? Really? What? Wait a second here. U.S. Department of Justice. Funded by the U.S. Department of Justice. 600,000 persons of all ages that go missing every year. Approximately 4,400 identified bodies are recovered every year. Jeez. A lot of... Is this... Okay. Researchers say the number of missing person cases have declined over the past decades as better communication has made it easier to keep in touch and track persons. More than 17,000 missing person cases and 13,000 unidentified body cases remain open in the United States. So, 600,000 missing persons every year, I'm guessing is for the country. I thought it was maybe for the world. But these could be missing person cases of, like, it was a case, and then 2 days later, okay, we found him. I mean, it was a case, right? But then it was closed very quickly. But there's still 13,000 unidentified body cases that are open. That's quite a number.
We're sending you in deep, so be on your guard. Scanners indicate particularly
Quite a
rich
lot.
veins of morkite and gold further down. Bring it back, boys.
You know, I
Open.
always remember India. So I've been to India. India's a interesting place, you know, huge population, 1.3 billion people. And I remember even as a kid, my dad, you know, he had been into India a few times, and he had said something to the effect of, like, India is a place where, like, a lot of people go missing, and no one ever finds out why. Like, their infrastructure, what they have in terms of detective agencies and all this, like, you know, I remember him saying something to the effect of, like, people can and do go missing there, and no one ever finds out where they went.
I die a little inside.
A lot more than some other countries, like in the first world. And when I got there,
And here I just polish my boots.
you know, I didn't necessarily disbelieve him, but I didn't necessarily believe him either. It's just like, okay, that's something Dad says.
Let's get rid of the damn
Once I went there and saw it for myself, I'm like, yeah, I can see why he'd say that. You know, he said that because that's real. Oh my god. Mactera plague. Get out of here, Mactera. Oh my god, there's more bots. This bot is going crazy.
Attack!
Okay, I want to go fast through this.
Deep Rock seriously
Oh,
needs to
crap.
invest in some
I hate
better
this.
equipment.
This is one of these swarmer tunnel thing. It put the more... So once you walk up close enough to these swarmer tunnels, the swarmers all come flying out. They're very gross. It has the Morkite right on here, so you have to trigger it. That's not something you see very often. But it's annoying when it happens. Uh-oh. Get out of here, loot bug. This is my battery pack. Oh. Macteras. This is a big, weird cave here, too. Oh my god. Oh, there's the box. So here's the Nexus. It shoots... Oh, there's a hole in the floor. Jeez. It shoots... So a bunch of swarmers come out constantly. And it's, when it dies, too, a bunch come out as well. But if it's frozen when it dies, then a bunch don't come out. Or rather, the ones that would have come out don't come out. Where's my... There we go. Whoop. So many Mactera. Taking a lot of damage here. Ooh. Barely avoided that. Let's freeze this one. Grab my battery pack. Stick her in. And get some more nitra. How am I on nitra? So I need 17 nitra, and then I'll be able to call a resupply. And I should only need 1 resupply for the whole mission. I'm not going to get, like, as many resupplies as I can get. Like, I was going to just blitz this, but now that the cargo crate's here, I'm going to do the crate, maybe. Oh, crap. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. So these things... These breeders... Oh, no. I'm gonna freeze this one. And freeze this one. And I'm dodging a lot of stuff at the same time. Oh, gosh. Hello. Oh, wow. This is crazy. Get rid of this. And then the Spitballer. Oh, no. Bosco, don't light it up. I wanted to click on the Spitballer. Woo! Surprised I lived that. That's pretty good. Had 2 Necrolite breeders, or whatever they're called. They're the ones that have all the jellyfish. And the Spitballer, and all the Mactera. And I got some Morkite here. Not much, though. Attack of the bots from outer space. These bots are invading our space. True. Gladius. True lack of respect. Nero says Deep Rock Galactic is having an art contest till the end of the month. Wow.
Spotted. Buckle up. Contact imminent.
Swarmers. Oh, man. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that crate battery pack. I don't know. Maybe. I'm already thinking this cave is looking a lot more complex and annoying than most. Oh, gosh. I should be using my secondary more, because... So basically, resupplies, when you take them, give you half of the ammo for every weapon you have, right? So half of your main, half of your secondary, half of your, you know, grenades, or in my case, my axes. So I haven't hardly used my axes. And... Ooh. Boom. Or my secondary. So if I take a resupply now, a lot of it would be wasted. Because I'd go over full on most of it. And my drills, too. Although a lot of times you use the drills in combination with your primary. It's a little faster. But I'd like to conserve more primary ammo for a second.
Go, go.
Nice, nice. Whoop. All right. I'm thinking... I gotta look at the map. Ugh. God, look at this cave. I don't want to deal with all this. I'm just gonna go deeper. This is such a big, annoying cave.
Yeah, give me some sugar.
How am I doing on nitra? Oh, I have exactly the right amount of nitra. I don't need that. Oops. Oh, come on, you.
Yes.
And here's some not more kite.
Move your tin ass over here and hurry, please.
Watch out using all those emojis. Someone will mistake you. Get rid of this. Nice. Spencer says he's a little bit OCD about amino in games. Amino? Like amino acids? Proteins? I don't know what we mean here. Amino. Alright. I'm hoping we'll find enough Morkite down in the lower caves so I don't have to bother going back up to the upper ones. Which is normally the case. Most of the Morkite tends to be low down. Although I'm not seeing a lot here in this last cave. I have some cave angels though. Uh-oh. There's a bug right now with these spitballers where they don't actually face you, even if they're shooting at you. Uh-oh. We're not doing that.
Things are about to heat up, lads.
Supplies are on the way.
Get up here. Is that a golden loot bug?
Take care of this.
I'll let Bosco have the honors.
Resupply arrived. Go restock.
Shoot it, Bosco. Good job.
Rock and stone, everyone.
Keep getting it, Bosco. Keep getting it.
Focus fire here.
Nice job, Bosco. Here's some stuff. You almost got in the way that time, Bosco. Nope. X-Sly says, what's my favorite thing about this game? Well, you know, one of the things I've talked about a lot with this game that I like is that the developers of this game have released multiple expansions, sort of, to the game, right? They have created new mission types. They've added new weapons. They've added new enemy types. New things for you to do. And those have all been free. And they haven't put in any loot boxes that take advantage of, like, addictive behaviors, like gambling-style behaviors in the game players. They haven't created systems that are, like, really trying to get you to waste huge amounts of time in the game. You know, overall, I'd say they're pretty respectful of the player, you know, in terms of they're not trying to take advantage of you psychologically, get huge amounts of money from you. They seem to care about making a really fun game. They're not here because they have a big political message. They're not here because they're trying to get you hooked. They just like games, wanted to make a fun game, so they made a fun game. Like, and that's admirable. It's admirable when increasingly we have large corporations creating games trying to use
Ready to kill some more
reward, what is it, like reward patterns to get you hooked on loot boxes and crates, right? Or, you know, trying to push their own sort of agenda or their sexual fetishes into the game and other nonsense. This is just like they wanted to make a good game. So like the most recent thing they put in this game, we just started season 2 of it's sort of like a battle pass that you see in other games, but it's free, right? It's like a free battle pass. And they add in all these new cosmetics. They also added in one cosmetic skin pack you can buy from the store. It's like $5 or $7 or something, and it's like most of the cosmetics they added in were free. All of the gameplay they added in is free. And they're just sort of offering that, hey, if you want, you can support them with $7, you know? I don't think I have the thing open. Someone followed me on, Chep on D-Live followed me. How's it going, Chep? So I'm going back up because I need more nitro. I need like one thing. I need like one thing and then I need to go because I don't have enough. Sorry, not nitro, Morkite. I need Morkite and then I get out of here. Okay, gotta look at the walls for the glowy stuff. Now you say glowy stuff. The walls are covered with glowy stuff. I know. I hate this biome. I'm colorblind. So, sometimes this biome isn't the easiest. Okay. Now I can't even look at my map. I got all these bugs on me. Okay. Go this way. There's that loot box I never finished. I think this way is a room that I haven't done. Have I really gone through this room? Like, for real, for real? No, I haven't. Oh, wow. Look, you see all those Macteras? Alright, you. Line up and get frozen. Ooh, they're lining up behind me. Because I drilled a hole both directions, or I drilled all the way through the wall. You think there's any red sugar somewhere? Maybe? Okay.
explosive spikes.
Woohoo! I got a good amount of them. Most of the Mactera that were remaining. Okay, here's the other thing. I can finish my crate. Since I'm here. Where is the crate? Uh-oh. You hear that? There's something nasty nearby. Let me see if I can... See that? So, lower right of me. Lower right of me. Watch for it. I can't... There's something... Oh! See that? It's digging up. Probably a bulk detonator.
Just take your sweet time, old
Let's call over Molly.
I've got all day.
Let's see if we can get out of here before the detonator gets here. Just not fight it at all. Okay, come on. Get off of that.
God damn it, there's a pebble in my boot.
There it is. There's the bulk detonator. And I am needing to go where again? I just was there. Oh, it's over here. Right? Here it is. I need... What do I need? 37? Okay. I have 38.
Where is that damn mule?
Alright. Life After Death says, who still plays GTA 4 with cell phone cheats? I don't know. I've never really played the Grand Theft Auto games.
Good work. Sending in the drop pod.
Okay. That way, huh? This direction? The direction right by the bulk detonator? I'm stuck on a flower. So it's actually going to be below me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, below me.
Drop pod has arrived. Retrieving the mule.
Oh, it's not far.
Drop pod departing in
This is a big room.
5 minutes.
Whoop. Have I played any horror games, says X-Sly. You know, I've never really been into horror games. But, oh gosh. Oh, that's okay. So, if you look in the lower left, Bosco has 3 bars there. Those bars are the number of times it can help me up. So I'm not going to Iron Will here. I'm just going to let Bosco get me up this time. Horror games? I don't know if I've really played any horror games. I've never been into, like, really into horror movies and, like, anything with jump scares in it. Just not really interested in jump scares. I have seen horror games that looked pretty interesting, like, oh, what's that one game? I remember there was a game that came out that had really good support for Linux and was just like it was like a smaller developer. Amnesia, Dark Descent. The heck is that? Oh, that's the entrance to the thing. That's the drop pod entrance.
The mule has been successfully retrieved. Make it snappy, team. The
Here we
drop
go.
pod won't hang around forever.
Straight up to the drop pod. Hey, getting stuck in the rocks.
Rockin' stone.
Retrieving escape pod.
There we go. I got out. I've thought about playing Amnesia. I'm just not a big horror person in general. I've never played Red Dead Redemption either. I know Krogan's played a lot of it. Obviously, he's made those videos, but well, I think that's about it for me today. I will be playing again tomorrow. Oh my god, the bots are back.
Well done. You're getting closer to completing your assignment.
So the YouTube spam bots are back. I'll be playing tomorrow. I'm gonna get us all playing. You know, so if you want to play with me, make sure you have me added on Steam. I'll put my Steam in the chat. And tomorrow we'll play some Deep Rock Galactic. So have me added. So basically, once I get around to streaming tomorrow, I generally just, like, if you're online and not in a game, I'm generally sending you an invite, and whoever joins gets to play, and if you don't join, you don't get to play. So there you go. But I'll be playing tomorrow. Nero says, did you play any edgy games during your goth phase? I don't know what edgy games I would have played. Mr. Gladius says goodbye and to remember to respect the space. Exactly, you gotta respect the space. Always have to respect space. All right, everybody. Have a good weekend. If you show up tomorrow, then I'll play with you then. Otherwise, have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Wednesday for my Wednesday stream. Peace out. Have a good one.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.